going on? All right, today I want to talk about the stock market and the crypto market. But I got something important to put out. I want to point out something that most people don't point out. The news don't talk about this. A lot of people on YouTube don't talk about this or point it out. But a lot of people are telling the stock market is down because people are uncertain about tariffs or whatever type of news headline that they bring up. But the answers are all in the chart. So don't let the media fool you. Don't let the news fool you about the stock market. Oh, tariffs going to cause inflation. Let's dump the stock market. Like, they're just tricking you. All of this stuff is a game. So one thing I want to point out, let's go backwards for a minute. Let's go back to the COVID crash. We got the COVID crash back in 2020. So as you can see, let's blow this chart up a little. Let's stretch it out. This right here is the COVID crash, February 2020. We're about to get straight to the sauce and let you know what they're doing with the market. COVID crash. The market crash. 35% crash. And that lasts for about a month. 35% crash in COVID. And you know, COVID pretty much dragged out for a couple years. They scare you about put on your mask. Everything, stores are shutting down. Even with shipping with China shut down. But one thing you have to notice that we haven't paid attention to, the COVID crash, all caused and started with China. This right here started with China. COVID crash, China. And guess what? The most recent crash about the tariff. Who's involved in this crash? Again, China. 2020 crash, China. 2025 market crash. Guess what? Oh, it's China again. This is not a coincidence. The biggest crashes always start with China. We also got the 2022 crash. This where they scared you with inflation. Oh, we coming, or a recession is starting. This crash, this one was actually worse. Not because it's the biggest drop, it's because it pretty much lasted for a good 10 months before the market recovered. It pretty much took 10 months for this thing to bottom out. So market was just pretty much dead for a whole 10 months. And this was a 26% crash into the bottom. It wasn't necessarily a crash, it was pretty much just a bear market. But the market, from all-time high, the market went down 26%. COVID, 35%, 2022, bear market, 26%. And the most recent market crash with the tariff talk, 20%. So this is not even the biggest crash from the past 5 years. This actually is pretty light compared to the last two. And one thing about this crash, the market can be right back up tomorrow. Trump can wake up one day and say, hey, cancel all the tariffs on the other countries. And bam, the market just hit all-time high again, probably the same day. The stuff with the tariff can be changed overnight. Tariffs are not permanent. He can wake up the next day with a sign of a pen. Hey, remove the tariffs on this country. He can wake up one day and say, hey, people, America, we made a deal with China. Let the market presume. Market's back at all-time high. This can happen any day, any week, or any month. But we don't know, but a deal can be in the making. But don't let them fool you. Don't let the media fool you about, oh, the stock market is done. And one thing you notice on here, I have my trend line right here. Pay attention to this trend line. This trend line is perfect. This is the SPY index right now. Pretty much, it follows the S&P 500. This is SPY, but it pretty much the index. You pretty much look at the SPY and pretty much give you an overall. It can show you the overall movement of the market for the most part. But look, we got the trend line here. These are major pullbacks. This is COVID 2020. This is the 2022 bottom. And guess what? We got the tariffs. If you notice, this right here, it bounced perfectly off support. Do you find it a coincidence that Donald Trump announced a tariff pause exactly at support? Is it a coincidence that it was timed perfectly? So basically, if you didn't watch the news and keep up with everything, if you just look at this chart, the chart told you that it was going to bounce right here. I already had this line drawn. This line was already drawn months ago. It bounced perfectly. SPY 586. It bounced perfectly off support. Bam. They scared you here COVID. Bounce. This COVID bounce pretty much went straight diagonal to the upside for a whole year. You could have been eating good if you would have bought the COVID scare. 2022 bottom. Once it bottomed here, it bottomed. Guess what? This was the second support that was created. Boom. From here, it went an all-time high. Stock market running for 2 straight years. Stock market is too high right here. Everything is overpriced now. They need a reason to crash the market. Oh, let's scare everybody with tariffs and make you think it's the end of the world. Even though inflation is down month over month and year over year, inflation is actually down. But the news know how to scare everybody. Dump the stock market. Wall Street is involved in this too. Let's dump the stock market again so we can get some cheap shares. We want to dump it all the way down to support. We scared you for like 6 weeks all the way down to support. Bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. All the way till we get to support. All of a sudden, good news. Let's pause the tariffs for 90 days. Timed perfectly. But right now, if you want to get in the stock market or get back in, this is the perfect time. The bounce has happened. The bounce is happening already. So by next month, we could possibly be back to all-time high. But again, nothing is guaranteed, of course. But they keeping the news stores going for you. One day is bad news, one day is good news. But guess what? If you look at this chart, it's all bouncing off support right here. They just need a news story to move it to support. And they need a news story to bounce it at support. Everything is perfectly timed with the chart. Everything is perfectly timed. So if you want to get back in the stock market or get into crypto, crypto is following the stock market now. Crypto didn't used to follow the stock market, but now it is because a lot of big dogs is involved in it. A lot of institutions is involved in crypto now. Wall Street is involved in crypto now. So guess what? It's going to move with the stock market now. So whatever the stock market does, crypto does. Once the stock market starts moving back up, crypto will start moving back up. So don't get caught up into the news, let the news play with your emotions. Don't let the news force you into cashing out your 401k. And there are probably some people out there that cashed out their 401k right here at the bottom because the news scared you into selling the bottom. You just took a 10% tax penalty. IRS said, got you. Thank you for the 10%. Now you out the stock market now. Now you can't put it back into your 401k because you cashed it out. You got to start all over. And guess what? A month from now, your portfolio is back at all-time high. So you pretty much just lost money for no reason. And also, if you within 2 years of retirement, Your money should have been switched over to a money market account or something stable that's not in the stock market. A portfolio manager with big companies should already know this. So if you got people saying, oh, my 401k is down, we got people that just lost all their retirement. You did not lose all your retirement unless you sold it. And your retirement shouldn't have been in the stock market if you were close to retirement. That's not a Donald Trump problem. That's your portfolio manager's problem. So with that being said, right now we're bounced off support. Everything's looking good so far, but the news is going to be day by day. One day it's going to be good news, one day it's bad news. But just pay attention to these charts and how everything plays out. The news is timing this stuff is perfectly. Everything is being timed perfectly off support. So with that being said, I'm out.